in incorporation. We're paying taxes on that land. We can't get out of it. When that 20-year agreement's up, you are going to be paying for those taxes. Because there's no guarantee. I don't care who they made the agreement with. They made it with Samsung. If Samsung would have 20 years go away and say, okay, but we'll keep paying the tax. No, they're not. And this is what's disgusting about this whole thing. We got pulled into the middle of this thing, and none of my people know. When I told them I got to go to a meeting, I was talking to the families. I got to go to a meeting. HDI is taking over control of all the land. And they're taking care of our business too. And they said, well, who the hell are they? I didn't give them permission. Our families didn't give them permission. You have a Chippewa elected man, ex-elected man, that's making all the decisions. I have a grandmother that goes to those meetings. She doesn't agree with it. That's my grandmother. That's my family. And that's who I speak about and for. And they don't like this. Because we're already going through it. With Chabrae Holdings Incorporated. And we're paying taxes on it. This year, last year, they were told you've got 1 year to put this in Oneida's name. Still hasn't been done. He was one of the lawyers that agreed to do it. And it's still not done. We're going to lose that land. Because the county's going to say, we're going to put it up for auction. Because you didn't pay the taxes. Then we lose it. That's where we're headed. That's where Six Nations headed. I don't care if you call it HDI. As soon as you say incorporated, that's where the downfall is. You the chiefs, grandmother, you are the shareholders. You're the ones that get sued. When that happens, remember that. Because I'm not sure as heck going to put no money out. I'm going to look at all the chiefs and I say, yous pay it. You're the ones that are getting sued. It's your corporation. And you'll have the money to do it. But you won't be able to buy no land because you'll be paying for that suit. That's it.
You're going to do your due diligence and you're speaking and making these deals on behalf of an entire nation. These are just a couple families, and then look at those two people that spoke to them, Alday and Elected Thursday, are not even Oneida's. And they made those agreements for those people.
I'll say it again, I go to council. If you have an issue, if Oneida's have an issue, I'm not getting an Oneida business. If they have an issue with the chiefs, no.
I want to say something here. Let me answer Levi. First of all, I think you said a couple of good important things there, Levi, and one of them is that your band council and your chiefs council are working together. That's correct.
That's where the airport of your state.
Well, I'm just like, yes,
That's the papers.
but that's exactly what happened. So HDI was brought in on the consensus of both that band council in Oneida and the chief. I can show you the letter.
I know the
I can
letter.
show you the letter.
I
I'm
know.
saying
I
though
seen
that.
the letter and it was signed by Joel Abram and council got after Joel Abram. He got suspended for a month for
Well,
signing
I'm
that.
letting you know what our understanding is.
Well,
But
your
as far as
understanding
this
is
whole
wrong.
thing about
And
these
now it-
people,
and now the
excuse
truth
me,
comes
but
out.
I let you speak.
Now the truth comes
Levi,
out.
I
Now
let
the
you
truth
speak.
comes out.
I let you speak. Let me speak. I'm telling you how it came to our table. Oneida, those chiefs do sit on that bench. And whether you agree with them or not, you have one plant family that you talk to, right? Like, I'm not sure, like, how do you have 3 plants? No, as an individual. individual. You have
As an
one
individual.
planned family. Anyway, what I'm saying to
As
you
an
is it's
individual,
not
I
our
was
business.
sent by all three.
No, listen to me. It's not our business what those other nations, who they put in there. And for us to say, well, he's a Chippewa, I don't have to listen to him. What about some of the ones that came in as Wyandots? We have an elder sitting on our bench right now who's a Wyandotte that was brought in under that younger brother's nation. What about them? Like, who are we to talk about? We're talking about being Ojibwe and Haudenosaunee, and you're talking about how this
Barb,
Confederacy
I
works
know
and
how
great
you-
law.
you're just
I
as
know
bad
how
as
it
Barb.
works, Levi.
You're just as bad as
And you're
Barb.
not listening, you're walking
I
away.
know,
That's
I'm walking
very
away because you're
disrespectful.
full of crap.
No, I'm not. I'm telling you how it works. You only have one clan family that you answer to. And that's how it goes to it. And so it's not for us to say who the people put on the bench, but yeah, we were delegated by the United. They sit on that bench. The Confederacy put them there. They're part of HDI. It's not our job, just like the grandmother spoke. That's council business. That's not HDI business. We're telling you how it got to our table. That's how it got there, Jesse. That's how it got there. The band council and the chiefs council said, here, we need your help. And we did send money to the Confederacy or the Oneida Chiefs Council because we said in that newsletter, these ones are going to Oneida because it's right in their backyard.
Okay, Hazel, so now that we all know, right now, what's going on, what's dysfunctional, then let's stop and fix it. Don't keep making excuses.
We're not
We
making
can
an
do that for
excuse.
another 100 years.
We have been making
I am not in
excuses.
favor of this either, and I have a big clan family, no.
We're in favor of what? It's already done.
I know it's done. I
And,
know it's
and,
done, but we can undo it.
and no, we can't, Ken. It's not your job to say let's undo it. Like we said, if there's something that, if the Confederacy
It
says,
is my responsibility
as one individual, yes, you have a voice. But horse chiefs, that process, that decision-making process also has a
You've done all
responsibility.
kinds of things, Hazel, that have not been right, and you know it.
No, I don't
That
know
one
it.
too.
We've
So
done the
you gotta
best we
stop
can.
and fix it, and stop blaming the people.
You're blaming us. It's not our fixing. It's the clan families. It's your responsibility. That
Okay, I was
is
gonna
right.
jump in for a second. If there's an issue with the clan, or with the chief, or with the nation, then that's outside of our terms of reference. We go through, we do the work that the chiefs ask us to do, the work that council asks us to do. Sean, can you please just, I know it's just hard to talk when you interrupt. We report back to the Confederacy Council monthly. We invite you all to come to the meetings. The office is open. You can come and get any of the documentation you want. You can see the agreements, and they're all there. But if there's a particular issue about representation, or who's who, or who should be sitting on a bench, or who shouldn't be sitting on a bench, none of my business. I take my direction from council. So, next question, and then, sorry, next question?
Okay, so, under this corporation, if we buy land under the corporation, are we giving up our ownership to that land?
No.
So why is it that you say in the expositor that putting Birch into the hands of a corporation would effectively be asking them to show you to surrender ownership over the lands?
Because the crown, it's in the crown hands.
I thought you said we got Birch back.
That was the process that the band council was going through at the time, and the provincial government was recommending that,
In April of 2015?
yes, that a corporation be created between three different parties, such that the corporation would hold the land.
So,
At the end of the day, it would not be registered in the Confederacy Council's registry system. That's what they wanted us to agree to. They wanted us to agree to move it into a corporation, and the corporation would hold it. And that would be the end of the story. The process that we set up is we have a corporation, we get the corporation to acquire the land, because quite frankly, nobody out there is going to turn over the land without it. And then we take that land and we turn it over to the Confederacy Chiefs land registry system.
but that corporation's under the jurisdiction of Ontario.
Yes, it is.
So essentially Ontario is buying our land.
No.
We're under their jurisdiction.
No, we're not. The land is in their jurisdiction right now, if you want to consider it that way. It's under Ontario's jurisdiction. We don't recognize Ontario's jurisdiction. We don't recognize the land registries. No, we don't. What we do is we use the corporation, we use the tools that are available to us to take somebody off of the land who's there, who quite frankly doesn't know any of the history and didn't participate in the fraud and didn't steal it. To be honest, they bought land 50 years ago, they're there. We don't want to dispossess them. We're not going to evict them. We're not going to burn their house down.
So under that
So we use
jurisdiction,
it-
we pay taxes on that land?
No,
So why did we pay tax on that land?
we pay the initial round.
We pay the tax of the farmer.
The farmers pay, the
The original.
The people who own it pay the tax, the corporation acquires it, and the corporation turns it over to the Confederacy, and then the Confederacy says, it's in our system now, we have our people on the land, we're no longer paying taxes, it's no longer within your jurisdiction.
So who's on the land?
We can never get the council to have that put through.
What's that?
So who's gonna be on that
It
land?
depends who council puts on the land. But that's not part of my decision.
We already have a lease on that.
Well, we have a lease, what happens is people lease some of the lands. So Birch, for instance, is leased, but that lease is through, the Confederacy chooses who they want to have a lease with. They say, okay, who wants to have a lease with the land? And the council makes those decisions. That's not a HDI decision.
The recommendation from HCI, release from that.
No, we don't really make recommendations on who gets it.
Again, I got a little concern, and I think a lot of people have the same concern, is, conflict of interest. And that's what I asked in terms of reference. What are your, conflict of interest rules? Like, not putting fingers on for a bit really out there, but you sit on a board of directors of HCI to get on.
Well, it's not really a board, it's a delegated. Well, yeah, okay, I know what you're saying, yeah.
But you are also, legal advisor on record for them, so that means you're your own boss.
Yeah.
In fact, but you know, I'm a very complaint.
Yeah.
Because of the, and then, the entire board sits on this corporation board, so, I got, the problem I got right now is, oversight.
Yeah. So the question is the problem with oversight, who's watching what Aaron's doing, basically.
And then was there,
Or what everybody's doing.
Yeah.
So the way that we try to address that in terms of balancing this idea out is that we make sure that we have the chiefs and clan mothers at all the meetings. You'll see, if you want to come get the minutes, you can see some of the chiefs and clan mothers are there, seeing what we're doing. The second thing is I also sit on the board of HDI with 2, 3, 4 other 5, I think Blake's on it as well. So some of the chiefs are on this delegation, it's not a board. So they're also overseeing what I'm doing. Throughout the process of council, any of the decisions that finally get made have to go to council. So council's overseeing what I'm doing. I don't really act as, I know this came up in one of the questions, I'm not a legal advisor, I'm not the lawyer for the Confederacy because they don't use lawyers. They ask me from time to time to help on specific issues, to do what I can best describe as to translate. Translate these documents and agreements and what do they mean and how does it going to affect us. So I do that the best I can. So that's how we have this oversight. And we're actually setting up new systems with another board entirely that I'm not participating on.
I think the problem is the use of the word board.
Yeah.
I mean, that's been our problem with the board. Because actually the board is the council. They're the board. Aaron, Brian, and Bob, they were appointed, delegated from council to go build this thing. Then they brought me on. And so we answer to that council. All the chiefs and clan mothers are the oversight. They are the board, technically. There's been talk recently by the chiefs and clan mothers because they hold such a responsibility in council and whatnot that they're looking at putting together a finance board of community members to start looking at how to deal with this money once it all comes in. That's part of that financial management plan. That will be put out to the public for what do you call it? People that are interested. I don't know what the word is. Advertise for people that are interested. Then there will be a board, I guess, what you're talking about. But right now, that's what the oversight is the whole council. It's all the chiefs and counselors.
You listen and,
It's his board.
It's a board, you're
I know.
a board director, I will.
Oh, on the corporation part?
Yeah, no, it's
That's on the
HCI.
corporation.
And then, it doesn't even, speak to the chiefs, it says they're on the board, it's not, there was no chiefs.
That's part of the problem is because the way that I understand it is that chiefs can't be on a board per se, like on something that's called like the board of the Brantford Hospital. They couldn't sit on another board. So it's actually, technically it's a delegation. We use the board words sometimes because the rest of the world doesn't understand what we say in the delegation.
So go to the last slide, because it's after 8 now, we gotta wrap up because they'll be coming here to lock up. So go to the last slide and talk about what we did. We jumped ahead because we wanted to know what.
So this is what we've done. The chief's asked us to come up with a process to deal with developers and focus on these issues. This is what we've done. You'll see at the bottom, this is the number of this is the amount of money that's coming in over 20 years.
Hard to see the.
It's,
Sorry, Aaron.
can you play that slide for me? Just play, go to play and hit.
We get to the top. So the project, the land lease, and then the land acquisition. So keeping in mind, the one in red is not passed through council yet.
That's this one here.
Yeah. But the other ones have all been sanctioned by council. The partnership.
That money can benefit anybody, because when we're not going to get out, we
You've
So what's
answered
that?
every one of your questions, Nick.
But I'm just saying, how you guys benefit?
We just got through.
How do we benefit?
No, how is it gonna benefit
The
us?
Confederacy is building a financial management plan. When they get that plan put together, they have to
You
look
guys
at
have
it.
been there for 9 years.
But that's, see, that's, we
I
haven't
said
been,
the
the Confederacy's
is
doing it.
building it. So we recently reached out to consultants to say, can you help us build this?
So how has any of the money that's, any of these other agreements, how has that benefited any of the people ever since you guys started, you know, like?
the council has to decide, this is 20 years away, but the council gets to decide how, and by the Confederacy, that includes the people, that includes the clan mothers, that includes you, working through your clan, you decide. We just went out and got the money. You decide what you want to do with it. On that one parcel, on the land acquisition, council told us to go get land. To get land strategically that's close to the reserve that they can start expanding their jurisdiction.
So how can you let people know that?
We do. You keep saying this, how come we don't let the people know? We go to council every month and we do this presentation every month at council. And we tell them this every month at council. This is exactly what we're doing. It's in the minutes of council. It's in all of our reports.
Okay, and then back to most question, how you're on the board, and plus you're an employee, how is it you guys are on the board and employees, and why is it that you could never tell us what your role was in the Confederacy and prior?
I've always told,
And, no, we wanted to see your retainer agreement.
I don't have a retainer agreement. The Confederacy's Chiefs Council
Job description.
doesn't have a retainer agreement. The job description is the terms of reference. The chiefs, the Confederacy Council. You're asking really questions, you have to slow down with it and ask me a question. Yes, I report back to the Confederacy Chiefs Council. That's who I'm accountable to. I report to them monthly.
What's your question?
How come you could never hand any of the documents to my chief that he wanted or to see?
I do have, this, it's not, it
It's
is
not
not.
even true. Sam General wouldn't even take my report at last council. So if your chief wants to know what's going on, he's got to accept the report when I go to hand it to him. He refuses to take it. And as far as Steve, oh, come on, Nick, that's nonsense.
We invite every one of the chiefs to come to every one of the meetings.
I'm not done. Steve Hill has called the office and he asked, he came into one meeting, the tobacco delegation, not HDI, but the tobacco delegation. He asked about the Samsung stuff. It was April 29th, I think. And then the next day, I got the package together. It's still sitting in the box. I don't go looking for them. Every chief and clan mother knows that box is in that office. He hasn't been there to pick it up. Yes, they did. They were told at council repeatedly. And the only other time that Steve asked about anything, he called the office, and then he wanted a copy of all the salaries and all the people's contracts. And I said, I'm not giving it to them. I can't give it to them. I cannot give that to them. Because the chief's not, then he should come in and then we should talk about it. But the concern, and I've already said this to you, that is confidential. I cannot legally provide that to someone who's gonna turn it over and put it in a newspaper, because that's exactly what's been going on. I have a lot of concerns too. I have concerns that 3 women meet continually with the band council chief and are given
All right,
direction
explain to me when you went to bank council chief, because right now you're lying to everyone.
No, I'm not lying. I'm asking,
did I
I'm asking, because I've
No,
been
you just said you
told by
told us.
someone within the Confederate, or within the elected
told
system,
us.
that those girls meet regularly with Ava. Steve Hill stood up and provided a copy and said, yes, I got it from Ava. So my concern, and this is just a concern, my
Your concern
concern
that we have to
is
get
that
information from
the
Ava.
possibility that somebody might not want the Confederacy to succeed, especially someone that's working
Okay,
in the
now you need to
system.
stop planting some crap in people's brains right now. I'll
No, I
explain to
think
you.
it's a valid
I will
question.
explain to you.
So
You
why
are
do you think so?
you asking the question? You want the answer?
I'm listening.
Okay, cool. I did not meet with Ava. Not once did I go into that office and meet with her face to face. I called her on the phone. The reason I called her was because I had an issue with my child's vice principal abusing children in his school. I had no place to complain to. I had to go to Ava to find out where to go. I had regular contact with Ava throughout the month of June. That's what I went to Ava
Yes.
for.
And you're only one person, I wasn't specifically speaking of.
No, you're talking,
Cheyenne.
I know
I'm
who you're
talking about the
about.
newspaper.
I know who you're
And-
talking about because
Anyway,
your
this is
PR
the
person
problem.
over there said
And-
something to me about it, and so did you.
This is the problem that we face, is that we choose to listen to gossip instead of going to one another.
You're a prime example of that.
I just asked you, I didn't choose, I'm
No, you
asking
didn't.
you,
You
because
told
that's
everybody in this room that 3 people were meeting regularly with Ava,
That's
and
your
none of
exact
us
words.
have met regularly with Ava, on the exception of me about my child's school.
I guess you're speaking for all three.
What's all three that you're talking about?
Anyway,
Is
there-
there?
You asked the question openly, right?
This is the, we're going around in circles, and I'll say it one more time, like one more question, let us answer. And I told Steve this more than a year ago. I said, if you have any questions, come to the office, come to the meetings. He hasn't come to any meetings. There's nothing I can do about it. He's invited to all the meetings. All the chiefs and clan mothers here are invited to the meetings. We invite them all to every single one. Then we report back to council every month. So we're doing our job.
Can I be invited to your meetings?
Yes, you can go talk to your clan mother and chief and come talk to, ask us what you want to know about the meetings, and we'll more than happy to inform you.
I
Sorry.
thank you for giving me time to speak, but I have a challenge for you. I need you to prove to me that this is not a conspiracy.
See, you're asking us to prove a negative, and that's an impossibility. And because it's not a conspiracy.
What?
We're not committing a conspiracy. Like you say that and you sort of drop the mic and walk out of the room.
I don't know what you mean by
Like
conspiracy.
we're not a conspiracy. We're open and accountable. We report to all of these chiefs and clan mothers who oversee everything we do. We get overseen by 2 different major auditing companies. I don't know what more you want us to do.
So where's the $800 million going when it's not the
$800 million?
You're quoted here to the Toronto Media Corp that we have raised $800 million in equity funding and approached Samsung with an offer to share revenues. This is in 2012.
So when you raise equity funding, what you're doing is you're borrowing money
On what?
on the ability to enter into the agreement. So if I say, I've got $800 million of equity available, that means I walked over here to the pension fund, I walked over here to Deutsche Bank, I walked over here to Goldman Sachs, and I've said, can you give us $800 million to invest in this business?
So what's our equity?
That is the equity. The $800 million is the equity. Because there's 2 forms of investment, debt and equity. The equity is me going and saying, can you raise $800 million of equity, of money, cash to invest? They say yes, sorry.
No.
They say yes, we'll give you $800 million. We want to make 10% interest. And I say, okay, and I walk back over to the corporation and the entity, and I say, we need to make 12% interest when we do this investment. We get the 2%, they get the 10. That's how you raise $800 million of equity. It never comes into our pocket. It's never something we actually have. It's something we go to the financial markets and raise because of the strong financials on the underlying project.
Okay, so you said that we were dealing with Samsung for 5 years, but it says here that they would come to the table and would pay for the system 3 years ago.
That's true. We started correspondence in 2009. When it first showed up on the Newswire, it first came sort of across our path, we fired off a letter to Samsung saying you have to engage, you have to undertake engagement, obtaining consent of the Haudenosaunee.
So we basically bought them to the table?
What's that?
We basically bought them to the table?
We didn't bought them
We
to the
didn't use the
table.
800 equity either.
We never-
That was
we-
just if we
They
were
weren't,
partners.
they wouldn't participate.
It
They would,
doesn't exist.
they wouldn't
So
go
how did
through,
we end up with a contract a year later?
because they,
Land lease.
but we went through a land lease process.
Land council partner.
Bank council to the partner,
Yeah.
the Confederacy put down a cease and desist. The cease and desist went out, and they said, okay, I guess we're gonna have to deal with you guys. The Koreans who we were negotiating with got fired, and they brought in the guys from San Francisco. The guys from San Francisco said, okay, well, we agree to disagree, but we'll make a deal based upon this land lease principle. But we can't do a partnership. We got one question here first, sorry, Lisa, and then we'll come back over here.
I'm looking at this chart, and I think that this one is annual leases.
The land lease, yes.
So does that mean we have $1 million?
No, no, the end column shows you to date what's come in. That's over a 20-year period, like that times 20, that's supposed to be annually, but it's only when the project is finished, and then 3 months after that, it reaches its completion date, then the first payment will come in.
Another question here?
How can you feel comfortable doing what you do, answering to the bank council when the majority of the people here don't even vote for bank council? It's something like 1,000 people vote and there's like 20,000 people. How can you say that you meeting with the bank council is like legitimate?
Well,
She just came in, so she didn't
Yeah.
hear the rest of the.
yeah, we're not really,
I mean, everyone I know doesn't vote and they don't like the way the bank council spends the money and if
Amanda,
everyone with the status card, the bank collects so much money for them.
we don't report to the bank council.
we work with the
We
Confederacy.
just work for the Confederacy. With the way that we did the last question got answered, it might have sounded like we. Sorry?
As my witness too, is no one likes them either.
Well,
One more question, I better close this box.
one more question?
So we asked our grandmother, our chiefs, for you to post all your minutes from when you first started, is that what we do?
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. All right, one last question.
Can I just ask how you, based on what was brought up over here, is there some space to dissolve the corporation? Like, how do you get out of that?
Yes, that's the intention, is just to wrap the corporation up. It has no more assets, it has no more anything, and it goes away, and it's completely held by the Confederacy. It's a stopgap measure. All right, I don't want to be rude, so I'll say it. One more question. Is it a question, Jen, or are you going to read me something?
It's not a question, it's a request, again. I'd like a complete copy of all the contracts. I'd like a copy of the audit, a stamped audit, not just a financial report. A copy of the minutes and the terms of reference. And fourthly, let's fix the house.
All right.
So when can I pick those up?
We will take the request. When you say all of the contracts, I'm not exactly sure what you mean.
For all the people you've dealt with, all the lease agreements, all that.
All the different agreements. We can set them all up for you. I don't know if we can copy them necessarily, but
I
we'll
can
get.
give you a draft copy, I can't provide the signed copies, but I'll certainly give you a draft copy.
And you can see the signed copy. So we should be able to get you 99% of what you've asked for.
Why don't you just post them on your website?
I don't have no, I don't have no computer.
Most of the stuff is posted already, like the audit and the
I have no.
That's not.
financial.
No, but she's asking about the agreements, and I don't know if there's not confidentiality clause. That's my, I don't, it's not confidence against the people, but it's for those developers. They have-
If we have
they're doing
something,
business
we
with
might
other
ask for
people.
something that says you agree that it has to stay within the Confederacy people. We might ask for something like that.
How come you said that the auditors are supposed to, when I spoke to forensic auditors, they said that was completely bogus?
What's bogus?
That the forensic thing needs to be handed into them?
No
And
idea.
then how can you?
We have a clean audit.
Oh, of course, that one was clean, but no,
And
the
so is it-
numbers that I pulled off the website, this was like months ago now, but that went to forensic audit, but I want you to tell us, why did she trust you when, you try to scam out the whitefish
I haven't scammed it. Those things are not true. They were actually put out there by,
They are true, I
They're not.
spoke to the chief,
Well,
and
the
I
chief-
spoke to the
When he
auditor.
was in jail or when he was out?
No,
No, when did you speak to him? While he's in jail or when he's out? See, I don't think you did. And I think that's very unfortunate. Like, you're talking about destroying someone's career without any,
No,
any
I spoke to
clue.
him.
You're blind on.
A real influential auditing, place in Toronto.
that's not true. That's not true. Okay, who is the auditing firm you spoke to?
The one, the Kelly Lake one, or not the Kelly Lake, the Whitefish.
What was the name of the auditor?
I don't know offhand.
But you said you spoke to an important auditor. What's the name of the auditor?
Jim Reynolds was the guy I spoke to.
That's not an auditor.
He's a lawyer at the auditor.
He's not an auditor. He's not, he doesn't work at
He's
a,
a forensic auditor.
no, he's not.
Yes, yes.
He's not, he's a lawyer.
Well, he's a lawyer,
So,
whatever.
anyways, you're obviously mistaken on these things. Because you haven't spoken to an auditor.
So it's not true about Whitefish Bay?
No, it's not.
That's not true.
No, it's not.
So why would you have paid millions of dollars back to them if it wasn't true?
I didn't get millions of dollars.
It's all in the report.
No, it's not.
Yes,
I've
it
seen the
is.
report.
It's not, it's a letter. It's not a report, it's a letter that the chief wrote.
It wasn't from the chief.
The chief, it was not from the council. It was from one particular individual, a disgruntled person on their council.
One.
It was.
Linked it to Jim Windle.
It was, no, I'm
And
not
Jim Windle has
talking about
had
that.
a concerted effort to try to tear Aaron down. I've seen all those documents and I know exactly what Nancy was trying to do. And everybody here has no clue what's happened at 2 times. I do. And I know what is going on at that paper.
I'm not talking about two more times, I'm talking about.
I'm talking about how the commission was leaked because I was a part of that.
Okay, if you're saying that's all not true or anything, why is
It's
this
not.
company in Toronto, why would they return, like, give me a very big letter
I've seen all the
If
information
you're
and it's
called
not
my
true.
counsel, why are they saying that it's true of it?
I'm not saying it's true.
I spoke to them.
I've spoken to some of the people out there too.
I've spoken to
Because
them.
I
You
approached
actually
Aaron
were
about it
able to-
when I was still in the paper. And I've had meetings with these people, so I know what's not true.
See, that's where all the confusion is coming
Well,
in,
we'll
because
just
we
bring it
got,
out here.
yeah, like, they were, you know, like, that's why I said, like, you guys wanna be accountable to the people, but, like, you're sitting there saying everybody else is lying about everything, but how could, why would this lawyer in Toronto send me?
I thought you said it was an auditor.
Well, whatever, he's Jim Reynolds.
No, you told me you spoke to an auditor. Did you speak to an auditor?
That's the guy I'm
Did you
talking
speak to an
That's the
auditor?
guy I'm talking
You said you spoke to.
See, now you know how it feels when you do it to other people.
I'm not doing anything. I'm just saying that what you're saying is not true.
And it was projects, and then
I'm
it was
just saying,
development.
why would
It's
he,
not
why
true.
would he be telling me lies, whether he was an auditor, whether he was a lawyer, or whatever, you know, I spoke to him. And I didn't even bring the papers, but I can bring the paper, I can show you the papers that he sent me. And why would this company send me that put it in writing that?
I don't believe they did. I'd like to see it.
Because, you know, like, you're saying they're lying?
I
Why would they
don't
lie?
believe that if it was a lawyer, that a lawyer would have ever disclosed solicitor-client privilege about his dealings with Whitefish Lake Team. And if he
Even
did,
if he was the same one who did that.
well, then send me what you said. If you got that in writing, if you're gonna tell me in writing, right now publicly, that a lawyer talked to you
I
about
have
his
it,
relationship with his
I can
client,
show it.
all right, we'll follow up with that. It's on the record.
And if you're so honest, then why is
Are you here, are you just here to attack me? Is
Yeah,
that
I
what you're
am,
doing?
because you know
Okay.
what? Because the people need to know what you really are.
All right.
And if you are so honest, why is it that, like,
That I have disgruntled clients, that I have people that aren't happy with
me?
me?
It's not about disgruntled clients, it's about the facts.
Going nowhere.
Yeah, where's Blake? It's gonna close or someone's gonna close it.
Is that the end of the slideshow?
Well, we skipped through a lot of slides. I'll make copies, yeah. I'll have them at the office along with what Jan requested.
Can we get a copy of all the minutes and stuff too?
Well, the minutes, are you talking about Confederacy minutes? I can't give you those. Council said no. I cannot give you council minutes. If you want to ask Josh, he's the secretary of the Confederacy. Anything like that, you need to ask Josh. That's not my job. Yeah, I'll put your name. Yeah.
I'm gonna close it out, Larry.
This evening has proven my statement correct. We need to decolonize ourselves. And it can't come people who are playing the roles of authority within this environment, because their places are secure. It has to come from us. We have to reorganize ourselves and validate who we are. Regrettably, there has been power plays made by people purporting to represent all of us. And I think this is the result of the power plays being made by people. Discrediting some of our families, replacing them with families who they like, and say, now you speak for people they don't like. It's really a coup. It's happened to all of our families. I think we need to redress that in some fashion. So I look forward to discussions on how we decolonize this.
There's the guy that's close shutting us down right there, so we got that.
Yes, I'd like to present to you a letter that we prepared from United Nations with regards to what's on that family line. We have a position that after reviewing some of the documentation that we received regarding some of these solar farm projects, the process that took place, there was some discussion about it earlier, but how one man gives total authority to the Haudenosaunee Chiefs Council without consultation from our family. We take offense to that, and we want that to stop.
Okay. Can I ask you?
So we had prepared.
Can you file it with us? Agree with us?
We'll give you a copy of that.
We'll give it up to the people. If that's beyond my, it's out of my.
Yeah, I recognize that here today. But the thing is that this, where else would we put this in the paper
Yeah.
for public
I
discussion?
appreciate that. I understand.
But we're just, I mean, I don't know. We haven't made any headway here because we still have to deal with those unfortunate people who believe they have that full authority in our system.
So I don't have to close anymore.